I gotta get going.
Oh, okay. Next time, let's play ping pong. It's easier to jump over the net.
Did you ever date Jerry? Because you look like his type.
Yeah. Well, we were hanging out in New York, but then
it never really transpired. Never went further.
Well, yeah.
You can't say anything. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Find the Funny with Lisa Alvarado. You guys, you are back. This is a great episode. I'm so excited to have my friend Jann Karam on the show. Yay! I'm so excited to have you because there's so many things, like details about you and your career that is just so fascinating to me. I mean, you've been on Letterman, you've been on Seinfeld, you've been on Curb, like all my favorite shows. And I'm like, this girl, when did you start? When did you start comedy? What year?
What year?
Or, I know, but you've been doing it for what, 40?
Yeah. Well, wait, that was, yeah.
You're like,
oh my God, don't tell the age. I know.
No,
I
but
know, it's
that's
bad, isn't it
legendary.
Funny? Yeah. No, I've been doing it since I was 19. So for 10 years.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Right. Barely.
I know. No. And then I started in Arizona in college at Arizona State University. Then I went to Chicago and I studied. I did it in when I was ready. You know, I had an act at, and then I moved to Chicago after I graduated.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I studied at Second City. And right?
So did I.
I was there before.
Yeah, probably before. Were you there when Tina Fey was there?
No, it was before that.
Before that. Okay, okay.
Because it was early on.
Right.
You know? And then I did the clubs, you know, like
Zanies.
Yeah, Zanies and
those Funny Bones
what's
out there.
Elmwood. No, not Elmwood. Elk Grove. Yeah,
there was a club there. Was it the Funny Bone or something?
It was way in the back in the woods. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Is that the Zanies? There's the St. Charles Zanies too.
It was the Zanies was only But anyway, I did stand up there, and then I moved to New York to get ready for New York. Then I moved to New York. Then I started. You know, became a regular at Catch, and that's where I met Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld.
Wow.
Yeah, and Bill Maher. Yeah, they were all regulars, and they were always there. So, and then you know, I just started working the clubs and all around and touring, and then I moved to Los Angeles. Yeah.
How long were you in New York? How many years?
About 3 or almost 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
it. It seems like there's either like New York comics or LA comics. It's one or the other usually.
What do you mean? Like you start there?
Yeah, like you start or you stay there. Like I had a choice from Chicago. It was either New York or here, and the main reason is I just couldn't do winter anymore.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well,
I just was like,
Chicago,
I can't do right. Chicago winters are so brutal.
And I didn't really know about it that much. And I kind of liked it once I went to New York. And Chicago, I think I left in October. So it was just sort of starting. I wanted to say the cool part of the story is, so roommate moves in, starts dating. This guy starts dating my roommate, right? Who ended up coming out to LA, and he ended up in a series. I introduced him to.
Oh, great!
Somebody. And then this guy dates my roommate, and then they say we're going to find our own place, and then they say we can't find a place, so you need to move out. And it was a great 2-bedroom, and like on. Like 35th and 9th, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and it felt like I wasn't getting as many opportunities or spots. It was just feeling somebody took over at Catch. I wasn't getting on as much. I wasn't getting on at the Cellar really. You know, it just felt kind of like, and then I was with Jerry Seinfeld at Columbus in New York City, and Bud and Alex were there. And Bud, and then we went over to the table, and Jerry introduced me to Bud and said, Jann's going to be going out. Then I decided I need to move out to LA, but he said, this is Jann, you got to meet her, and she should be at your club. And so then I had an entree into the Improv when I moved here. And I had to move. I kind of, like, it was at that place where things were.
Right.
So I would have loved to have stayed, but it didn't seem... Yeah. And then from there, then I got in at the Improv, and then I got on the Tonight Show, and then I got other things. So that it seemed like it was. I auditioned. I had a pilot. But
How
it didn't
many
go.
years into it did you get all
it
that
was like about
TV
now.
stuff?
I know it seems like it doesn't. It takes
because sometimes you roll into it like at 6 years in.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of heat when I first started too.
Yeah.
And I think young pretty women,
Yeah.
they kind of like, oh, if she can tell a joke, let's put her on the air.
But it's like, but you know, it was like you're too pretty to be funny. There was
Yes.
that. I don't know
Oh.
if they say that anymore. You know.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
much.
they say it behind
They say it
closed
behind-
doors.
Yeah. It's like she's
Good thing we're getting older.
I know,
So
it's
it's like
like
now we're going to
nobody-
be hilarious.
I know. Now I'm
We're all
hilarious.
wrinkly, so we can do this.
It's like,
now will you take me
oh,
seriously?
Now you're funny.
My boobs are sagging way down to here. Am I hilarious now?
It's just really a good one.
It's
That's
just,
a good one.
I must be so funny. Look at these crow's feet. You know, like
You're
I've
hysterical.
gained weight. My ass is flatter. I'm so funny now.
Yeah, I don't know why it took you so long to make it.
Right, exactly. It's just,
I think you finally found your voice.
we're
Like,
non-threatening.
really? No, I think you finally heard it.
Yes, exactly. Now that you stopped staring at my tits, I'm funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Now that you stop being chauvinistic and
Yeah.
sexist and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think
But we're
that
not
they.
bitter. Okay.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
not bitter. It's bitter puts it on us, right? It's more like that's not fair, and that's what
Yeah.
makes me mad about it. Is
Right.
we're not playing the same game, you know.
No, it's
It's
Right.
not. It's the same game, but it's not the same rules, and it's just not. It's
Yeah.
not okay, but it is what it is, right?
Right. Do you
Yeah.
mean women in general, or do you mean
Oh, I don't know what I
prettier
meant.
women?
What?
In terms of like it not being fair,
Oh, it's just
because
not
I
being
think
fair
women
to
in general.
standards. Oh.
Yes, I think for women in
Women
general.
in general is what I meant.
Right.
I didn't
Oh,
mean
okay.
the pretty thing. I wasn't doing,
Oh.
aren't you? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
the,
all
but
of
the
it.
pretty thing, they expect you to not be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit worse.
Or they hit on you or something.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, you have this great opportunity, but there's a caveat. There's like hook to it, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, but you got to,
Yeah, have
it's
you
a
ever-
date. This is a date. It's not colleagues. Oh,
Right.
really?
Have you ever had the audition at a club where the club owner, his whole intention was to
Yeah.
hit on you? It's
Yeah.
not even about comedy. It's not even about, I remember one of the first clubs in Chicago that I got passed at. I did a 5-minute audition and you had to go back into the manager's office and he closed the door and he's like, well, I have good news and I have bad news. I was like, so excited and nervous. Here I was like just a year or two into comedy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to host, and
Yeah,
he
your
goes,
intentions
good
are
news
pure.
and bad news.
Yeah.
And he goes, the good news is your set was great. The bad news is I don't date comedians that I book.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, great. So we're fine then.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to date you.
Wow.
Does that mean he's not going to book you?
Yeah.
Or not?
Basically, he was saying,
I don't
we're
date-
going to date.
Oh.
So I don't date comedians that I book. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to book you because I
Yeah.
want to date you.
Right.
Is what he was saying.
It's like you got a lot of nerve.
And I literally said to his face, I'm like, great. Perfect. That's great news because I'm never going to date you.
Yeah.
And he was so like, you should have seen the look on his face because he thought he was being all suave by
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the many times where like a club owner or booker would bring you into the back room to pay you and then get all pervy.
Yeah.
It was so scary.
I know.
It's not as bad now. I think also because we're older and we can handle
I don't-
ourselves.
Yeah, and I kind of have a joke I'm working on about how guys don't hit on me anymore. It's just so it's not even like, and then I say, oh yeah, and then after the show, some old guy with COPD and angina comes up to me. Well, I find you attractive.
right. And you're like, breathe.
yeah. Like, stand up straight.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Where's
like,
your spine?
right. That and do you have a boat? Do you have a ship
Yeah,
or
do you have a
something that you
ship?
own?
Yeah. Will you buy my groceries?
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No, but it is annoying when that happens. And I don't know if it's changed because I'm not at that place anymore.
Right.
Where
Right.
you get hit on, And I'm not on the road like I was, so that's
right.
like-
That's true.
but now I'm like, hit on me.
yeah.
Don't book
Isn't
me.
it so, we're like, that's so misogynistic. And then we're like, cricket.
I know.
Where did the pervs go? Should I whoop out a titty? What's going on? Why? Where are they? You know, like that's
It's like, hey, the world really did change. Men have matured.
or we have matured. That's the one. It's like
We got a whole new 5 here between the 2 of us.
Crap,
It's like,
I know. We got to do a 2-woman show instead of a 1-woman show.
yeah.
But I feel like now more than ever, the younger female comedians, some of them are a lot more provocative and beautiful in how they dress and their look.
Right.
And it's
I
more
felt like
accepted.
I had to kind of not cover up, but I couldn't wear
No, for
skinny
sure.
jeans and a mid, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even,
They push it, right?
Yeah,
kinda
they push the
The
boundaries.
sexuality,
Right.
yeah.
Now they do. Like, look at Nikki. Look at her last special. I mean, she looks gorgeous in that dress, but I'm a woman and I can't stop staring at her legs.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser, she's hilarious.
Yeah.
But that is not an outfit you would have seen 20 years ago on a female
Right,
comic.
right.
We're wearing the like Paula Poundstone jackets, the blazers, the baggy pants, the, you know,
Right, covering
we're
up.
covering up. We're trying to look like a man so that we
We're
fit
not really
in.
looking like a man. I
Yeah,
don't think so. But looking
depending,
like
yeah.
a strong woman. I mean, just because you're wearing a suit, right?
Yeah.
Or a jacket or something.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, classy maybe. But
Yeah.
it's. I'm not saying Nikki Glaser. It's not classy. It's just a matter of how you want to present yourself and
Right.
then what people. Well, wasn't it?
that was
Now
like-
Go ahead.
That was like a cocktail dress.
Yeah. I think one of the first people I saw doing that, there was Amy Schumer. Started wearing the dresses on
Yeah.
her specials. And that was like 10, 15 years ago. She would wear the dresses and they were shorter and she
Yeah.
looked cute and everything. But I remember thinking, I was always told, don't distract from
Yeah.
the comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want them to really hear your jokes
Right.
and you're wearing a really tight top, it's just
It's
distracting.
distracting. Yeah.
I mean, guys are so
It
visual.
depends on what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people, right? It
Yeah.
depends on what you want to be the focus. Like I
Right.
just always want to look nice, but I don't want it to be distracting. I want to kind of look,
Right.
classy, well put together. If that's your vibe and energy, then you know, everybody's free to express their own sexuality or femininity or however
Right.
they want, right? Like,
And do you find
I like going for the divine femme. That's what I want. you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Do
I don't know.
you find that you change your look at all for a particular audience?
I will, yeah.
Me too.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Because
when I go to the Elks, I wear jeans.
Right.
You know?
Right, exactly.
Like
Like
I
when-
work those Elks gigs.
like when depending on where you go, you don't want to be too overdressed or too
Yeah.
fancy.
You want to
or
fit
even- right.
in.
When I'm
Yeah.
doing a more urban room or like a rougher audience
Yeah.
that's like kind of like Apollo or just like one of those really rough ethnic rooms, I usually wear a baseball cap.
Oh.
It just tones
Wow.
it tones me down.
Okay.
And I feel
you look cute
it
in a
gives
baseball
me
cap.
thanks, but it
Yeah.
gives me like more of like a tomboyish sort
Okay.
of
Yeah.
feel.
Yep.
And it's like when you're doing an acting role and they put you in some sort of prosthetic or glasses, you feel different.
Yeah.
So I will wear a baseball cap in those kinds of audiences.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
Oh, I
okay,
never-
I'm
I'm
coming to fight.
Yeah.
It's more like, I'm going to tell you jokes, but I got to win you over with
Yeah.
like some power.
Yeah.
And more of maybe not a masculine tone.
Yeah.
You know, so that because when you're too femmy in a room like that, sometimes they come at you.
They might.
Yeah.
They might shut down or something.
Right. If you're too pretty, they're like, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
What are you doing up there?
Or they feel threatened or
Right,
something.
right.
So I think it's like you want to adjust the tone.
Right.
So it's just it doesn't mean that you're compromising your comedy or what you have to say. You're just
Right.
putting it in a little different bow on it. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Exactly.
This one's, Macy's and then Nordstrom.
Yeah. And I almost always wear layers. Do you wear layers on
Yeah,
stage?
I like wearing layers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
It's-
Because I just feel,
Yeah, it just kind of covers
It
you up a
adds-
little bit more. And
and it just adds like a layer. It adds a layer.
it adds
Yeah.
a layer to
As
the
opposed to
comedy.
just-
I know.
Yeah, I like a sweater or a light jacket, or we kind of are similar in how we dress.
Right,
Yeah. That's how I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worn like not a silly dress, but dresses before, and I like that too. But I also
Yeah.
like to be able to move. Like you like to move too. So.
Right. I like to move a lot. I used to wear heels on stage. And now I don't. Now
Yeah.
I wear gym shoes that have like a little platform in
Okay.
it, or
Yeah.
boots, like but
Right.
chunky
I see.
boots.
Those are cute. Yeah.
Cause I'm like, yeah, I'm getting too old to
I
do
have my chunky
stilettos.
loafers. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I
Well, they're
can't
not
tell you how many
comfortable.
times I've almost tripped over the cord.
Oh. Yeah.
In heels.
Stilettos,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I'm Latina. We
Yeah.
kind
You were-
we do
you're-
the
you were
stilettos.
born
It's
with
like, yeah,
stilettos.
exactly.
I was born with pumps on.
Exactly. And I'm like, I gotta be this much taller because I'm
Yeah.
only 5'4".
Yeah. Oh, a 5'4" is a good height. My mom said that was my mom goes, I always wanted my girls to be 5'4". It's a good height for men. I'm
It
like,
is because
what a thing to
a
think
lot of
like,
men
oh.
are the shorter guys are like the 5'9", 5'10". They
Yeah.
feel like they can still date you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't. I'm still cute enough to get a 6 foot tall guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that so mean?
That's funny. That's funny.
That's awesome.
Oh my
Your
gosh.
teeth look good. Do you have them whitened?
Oh, I
have
do
to
it
go to
like
the dentist
maybe
tomorrow.
once
like
a
a
year,
professional, or you just
especially
do this
if I'm
Oh, I
taping
shouldn't have
something.
asked
No,
secrets, beauty secrets.
No. I will do a Groupon where I'll
Oh.
grab like the teeth whitener thing. So it's like $50, and you go to a
Really?
dentist office.
No way.
You just can never go back there again. That's how
Okay.
you just get that one service.
Is it a laser thing?
They put the it's like the white light. So they
Yeah.
put this stuff on your teeth, and then they put this light in your mouth for like 30 minutes. It's so uncomfortable. And that's what I do for you guys because you're tuning in. See?
Oh, it's not yet.
And then I put I'm a coffee drinker, so then it goes back to
But that's a
being
Groupon?
kind of
That's
stained.
what the Groupon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper. And then I also, because I work on the ships quite a bit, I go to Mexico all the time. So I'll just drop into a dentist's office down there for my cleanings and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's so much cheaper, and they're just as good.
Are they?
Yeah, they're
I heard
really, really
not as
good.
good. No.
Depends. It depends on the place. Like if you're walking
stealing-
down
No,
Tijuana,
they're bringing drugs. No.
there's like a 4-year-old that'll
I'm
do your.
joking. They're what?
There's a 4-year-old that'll check your teeth for 50 cents. I've had Botox from a
He'll do
7-year-old.
extraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Get Botox for a 7-year-old.
get
They're
a-
very trained.
You can get a massage on the beach for like $4. It's fantastic.
No,
but
really?
you can't.
With
like
a
I
happy
had
ending,
yeah,
though?
happy ending for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But the problem is I had Botox, so you couldn't tell that I was getting the happy ending.
Is that your joke?
Yeah. Oh, I just wrote it like 2 weeks ago. I'm so proud of it.
Oh, good. I set you up for that. I didn't even know.
See, look at that.
Oh, good.
Look at you.
That's funny. I like that. That's a good joke.
See, a comic knows a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that's a joke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a keeper.
Yeah. You couldn't go, ooh, for your happy ending.
Right,
You can't
exactly.
go, do the face part. Do
I
the
just like
face
the-
part. Yeah,
Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah.
I see. I got to
There's
tag
your
it with the
tag.
act out.
There's your tag.
That's my
Oh,
tag.
tag with the
yeah.
act out.
Yes. Okay.
Always tag with an act out.
I know. That's a free laugh.
Bonus.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
did you ever date Jerry? Because you look like his type.
Yeah. Well, we were hanging out in New York, but then it
It
didn't
never
really.
transpired. Never went further.
Well, yeah.
You can't say anything. I love it. Do you know his wife?
No, I met her a couple of
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
Yeah, but this
cool.
is like a long time ago.
Long time ago, way
dated
before
every-
he-
Yeah,
yeah.
we had so much fun. We'd meet, go to lunch after the club, go eat. It was just so
Yeah.
much fun. I learned so much about comedy. You know, it's
Yeah.
just really a great. You know, we just always talk. I think I was working in Philly, and then he was there, and then during the day we got together. It was just so like
that's cool.
comedians hanging out.
Yeah. Are you still
Yeah.
hanging out with him when he comes to LA?
No. He's married
Yeah,
and all.
yeah. But I
He's
mean,
moved
just
on.
like
Well,
as
if
friends.
I see him,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I saw him at
Comedy Magic.
Gotham in New York. But
Oh.
I think it was before COVID, and
Yeah.
so then we went downstairs and we went downstairs and Jim Gaffigan was there and we
Jim,
just all were
yeah.
hanging out. And
it's so nice.
And they're both. And Jerry's like, "What about you, Jan? How's it going for you in LA?" And I went, "Compared to your life, or how
Your
do I not
guys? Yeah.
compare?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. I have an old car and
Yeah.
I'm getting spots and doing open mics."
I know.
So I was like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I said, everything's great.
Yeah, of course.
great.
It's fantastic.
Do you really want to?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's just, but it was fun.
So when you did his show, when you did Seinfeld,
Yeah.
did Larry David just call you personally?
No,
or did you have to audition for that?
3 times, and on the
Really?
3rd time, I said, "I'm not. If I don't get it this time, I'm not auditioning again," which is
Yeah.
dumb to like.
I mean, sometimes
'Cause
that's
it
when
was
you do your best
mortifying.
auditions.
Yeah, well,
Is when you're kind of like, fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it again.
Yeah.
And then you go in and you give your best performance because you don't care as much.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
just
you
was
booked
so-
it on the
they're in
3rd
there.
one, and he
Yeah.
knew you already, right?
Yeah, I knew Larry and Jerry.
But it was still like
No,
you
I
still had to go
do-
through the whole process.
Yeah, because they want to see you do it.
Right.
They want to see.
And that's
you.
cool because you earned it. It wasn't like, oh, let's
Yeah.
just call Jann because we know her.
Yeah.
You actually earned that role, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then they said, because the line was, he says, you never see, I forget what it is. How does it, something, Superman doesn't wear a sport coat. You never see a monster in a sport coat. Something like that. I guess
Yeah.
we went to see Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And then I say, I just look at him and go, that's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And they wanted a comedian because a comedian says that's funny.
Right.
They said everybody else at audition didn't know how to deliver the line. So that's why I got it.
Oh, that's
'Cause it's
fantastic.
like
right, because probably they were like, that's fun.
Yeah,
like way
or
too
that's
dramatic.
funny or something.
Yeah.
Didn't get like we say that to
Yes,
each other.
we say it to each other.
We just go, that's funny. Like
Yeah.
I say, you should do that tag.
Yeah.
You know, we're thinking
we're not
about
laughing.
it.
Right.
Yeah, we're not-
exactly.
we're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going,
yeah. We got to find that clip. Let's show that clip of Jann right here on Seinfeld. It's pretty cool.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, it was okay. Frankenstein didn't seem quite right to me. I missed the sport jacket. Not that it was that nice of a jacket. I mean, it didn't fit him that well, but to me, there's just something about a monster in a blazer. I mean, it shows at least he's making an effort.
That's funny.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Drop by in 2 weeks. We're going to be telling more stories with Jann Karam on episode 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Share it with your friends and click on the links below and support Jann's career and mine. Keep watching, sharing it with people. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in to Find the Funny with Lisa Alvarado.